Hi everyone. Today I want to take a little bit different of a path and show you how to make this lovely little crochet basket. It is a very simple, easy design. It only uses one skein of the Bernat baby blanket yarn. And it also works up very quick and easy. It uses a simple magic ring, slip stitch, and a single crochet. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to making it with you. Hello everyone. For this project, what we're going to need is just a couple of supplies. First, I'd say a marker. We'll need that. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. It could be a scrap piece of yarn also. We'll need a pair of scissors in order to cut the yarn. Some darning needles. Yeah, I just got some new darning needles in. These ones actually have a little bit bigger of a head, so I can actually, with this one, fish it through with my fingernail. We'll need a crochet hook. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. And we're going to need some yarn. For this, I'm using Bernat baby blanket yarn. This is a number 6 weight super bulky yarn. To begin this pattern, what we're going to want to do is create a magic circle. And then we simply want to chain 1. Now what I like to do, I find it helpful, put a marker into your chain 1 of each round in order to find that stitch. I tend to get slightly lost a little bit with especially single crochets. Finding that first chain 1 in order to slip stitch into to join the round, so the marker helps me, and if I'm having issues, someone else might not. If you don't need one and you do just fine finding your spot, oh, that congratulations. All right, so we did our chain 1. Now what we want to do is single crochet 8 times into the ring. All right, now that we have our 8 single crochets, we're going to take the tail of our magic ring and just pull it tight to bring the ring together. Don't pull too tight, you might break the yarn. All right, and then we just slip stitch into that chain 1 stitch in order to join our round. All right, and there we are, we have round 1. Now for round 2, what I'm going to do is remove the marker. And then simply chain 1. And then what we want to do is put 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. So we're going to end up with 16 stitches. And then after we've done all 16, slip stitch into your chain 1 stitch in order to join the round. And that is round 2. Now for our next round, just moving my marker. Going to chain 1, and then into our first stitch we're going to put 2 single crochets, and then into the next stitch 1 single crochet, and we're just going to repeat that all the way around the entire piece. 2 single crochets into 1, and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and we're going to have a total of 24 single crochets made this round. And then slip stitch into our chain 1. And there we have round 3. for round 4, chain 1, and then into our first stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Then we're going to repeat that around 2 single crochets into the first, 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and we'll end up with 32 single crochet stitches made total for this round. And there is our next round, round 4. All right, now for round 5. We're chain 1, and then we're going to put 2 single crochets into our first stitch. And then we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. And then we just want to repeat that, going all the way around. 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches, and this row will end up having a total of 40 single crochet stitches. And then slip stitch into our chain 1 of the round, and that is row 6. All right, and that was row 6. For row 7, we're going to chain 1. And then what we want to do is put 2 single crochets into your first stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then we just want to repeat that pattern, 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches all the way around the circle, and you'll end up with 48 single crochet stitches in this round. And there we are. We have round 6. For round 7, we once again chain 1 and then put 2 single crochets into our first stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. And then we're just going to repeat that, 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches all the way around, and round 7 will have a total of 56 single crochet stitches. And then slip stitch into your first chain 1 of the round in order to join. And there we are with row 7. All right, and for row 8, we'll chain 1, and then into our first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets into our first stitch. And then we're going to single crochet 1 time into the next 6 stitches. And then we're just going to repeat that for the entire round. That's 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches. And this round will end up having a total of 64 single crochet stitches. And then slip stitch into our first chain 1 of the round in order to join. And then we have row 8. Now for row 9, all right, we'll chain 1, and then we want to put 2 single crochets into our first stitch. Then we want to put 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches. And then we're just going to repeat that for the entire round. 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches. And this round will have a total of 72 single crochet stitches. And there we are with round 9. Now for row 10. We'll chain 1, and then we want to put 2 single crochets into our first stitch. And then we want to put 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. And then we just want to repeat that throughout the entire round. 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. And then slip stitch into your chain 1 of the round, and there we are with row 10. All right, now for row 11. we're going to chain 1, and then into our first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets, and then we want to put 1 single crochet into the next 9 stitches. And then we're just going to repeat that all the way around. 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 9 stitches. In this round we'll have a total of 88 single crochets made. And there we have row 11. And make sure to slip stitch into your chain 1 stitch of the round. And now for row 12. Once again, chain 1 and then single crochet 2 times into your first stitch. And then we're going to single crochet once into the next 10 stitches. And then we're just going to repeat that throughout the entire round. 2 single crochets into your first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 10 stitches. And this round will end up having a total of 96 single crochet stitches made. Alright, and there is row 12. Alright, and make sure at the end of the row 12 you slip stitch into your first chain 1 of the round to join. For round 13, we want to chain 1, and then we're going to put 2 single crochets into our first stitch. Then we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 11 stitches. And then we're just going to repeat that throughout the entire round. 2 single crochets into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 11 stitches, and then slip stitch into our first chain 1 of the round, and this row will have 104 single crochet stitches. All right, and then slip stitch into your first chain 1 of the round in order to join. And there is row 13. For our next rows, what we are going to do is very simply starting on row 14. If I can get my marker. We simply chain 1 and then single crochet into each stitch all the way around the entire piece. And then slip stitch into our chain 1 of the round in order to join. And the next rows starting on 14 are going to have 104 stitches each. And so we just go ahead and keep repeating that for our height of our basket. All right, everyone, so we have just completed row 30. I've gone ahead and repeated row 14, which was the single crochet around 15 more times, so a total of 16 repeats of that, so we should be on row 30. If you need to, go ahead and count from your center row to make sure you're at that, or if you'd like to make it bigger or deeper, by all means, just keep repeating that. So as we can see, inside all the way around. Just gonna smush that a little flat here for you. Now what we want to do is start making our handles for our bag. So first thing we're going to do is chain 1. Then we're going to single crochet into the next 20 stitches. All right, now that we've did our 20 single crochets, what we want to do is now chain 20. All right, and then we want to skip 15 stitches on the bag. And then we'll go ahead and start onto our 16th stitch here. And then we want to single crochet into the next 37 stitches. All right, now that we've single crocheted those 37 stitches, what we want to do now here is chain 20. And then we want to, once again, skip 15. And then into the next stitch, we're going to single crochet into the next 17 stitches. Alright, and then we just want to slip stitch into that chain 1 of the round in order to join. And there we are. We have little handles made, but they're pretty jimsy right now. So for our next row, what we're going to do, because we want a little bit more girth onto those so we don't pick up our basket with any weight into it and have it break. Go ahead and chain one, and then we're just going to single crochet into each stitch all the way around the entire opening and going around the handles also. So this row should have a total of 114 single crochet stitches. All right, so we've just finished that round of 114 single crochets, and then we slip stitched into that chain one space. Now all we do, thread our yarn into our darning needle, and we'll just go ahead and weave in our ends. And there we are. We have our crochet basket using only one skein of yarn. We do have some left over. The great thing I like about with this little leftover, it's pretty much perfect amount to go ahead and make one of the reusable water balloons. I'll go ahead and put the link for that video in the description for you also. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want, go ahead and if you enjoyed it, be sure to like and comment. And if you want to, go ahead and share with your friends. And if you'd like to get more free patterns, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can go ahead and get a notification of whenever I post new videos. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.